Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Old Bloke Crypto on February the 9th, 2024. And what do we see today? Believe it or not, the Asian session is actually doing something, and that is it's confirming the breakout to the upside of the market, Bitcoin primarily and Ethereum secondarily. And given the Ethereum is what I mostly trade in, that's what we're looking at right now. So thanks, Bitcoin. Thanks, Asian session. Actually waking up and doing something. Let's look at the charts. We're looking here at the Ethereum chart on the daily as per usual. And we can see here this not exactly huge green candle, but it is a green candle nonetheless. And we're about halfway through the Asian session now. And it's all of a sudden decided to get a wriggle on. Yesterday was, and I talked about this in the video, yesterday was the day where we needed to see a candle close completely above the top of the previous range. We did that. And as I said on Twitter this morning, not exactly inspiring continuation today after the last couple of days solid green cap. Now that is true, but continuation is continuation as we're guided by the data. As data analysts, this is what we do. And you can see the Asians are taking the market forward right now. We're up to currently 24.47, daily high 24.66. So for those people who are following me the last couple of days, I said that we would add to our high time frame long position should we get this confirmation. And so we do, and so we are. So if you are in the same boat and wanting to add to your high time frame position, that's up to you, because nothing that on this channel is financial advice. And while I remember it, please click the like and subscribe buttons and the notification bell so you're notified of future videos. So if you have added to your long position, that's great. Obviously, there is a risk that this is a fake out to the upside or a deviation, to use a technically correct term. Could be, but as I said yesterday, generally in this range, when you're in a range and you get a big deviation like we had there to the upside, you tend not to get another one similar size before you get a breakout. That's just how it tends to roll. What is more likely is when you get a deviation below the range and then come back into the range and continue on there within the range for a time. But as I said, generally when you get this sort of deviation, come back into the range, the next breakout actually is a breakout and not a fake out. Where do we then take our profits? Well, 27.20 is the yearly high, and this is a good place to take profits. This is where I will be taking profits. I will then re-examine my position and most likely place a baseline trade, which is 5 ETH is my baseline long position. Some people call it a placeholder. So because I'm generally in the market, longs and shorts, if I do close out my large high time frame position at that 27.20, should we get to it, I'll then start the process again, and I'll explain how that works when the time comes. What you do is up to you. You trade how you trade. This is the way I trade, and when and if I close this out at that 27.20 level, if it gets tagged, I'll share that on Twitter too. So you can see here you've got this wick, and wicks like to get filled, as I've said previously. 90% of wicks get filled to the 50% mark, which is around that 26.50, 26.60 mark. 80% get filled for the 100% of the weeks. I'll be watching very closely to see what happens. We only got one day of the trading week left as far as institutions go. And as they've been driving the market for a long time, retail's largely been absent. You've got to be aware that retail tends to take profits on Friday, US session before the close. So that's something to pay attention to. But as we're in high time frame, it's not that critical. If you're a day trader, absolutely. I'm not, never have been, not interested, not good at it. I'm a high time frame trader. All right, so let's look at the other indicators to see if we've got confirmation or suggestion that this will continue on to the upside. Liquidity or liquidations on this other chart that I use, and as you see here, just a reminder, these size 3 bubbles here are indicating that people are taking profits and closing out their positions, and price tends to reverse after it, as you've seen a little bit happened in the last couple of days. Now, you'll see here, these small bubbles indicate that there is a small amount of people taking profits, but there's not a mass exodus of the market saying we've topped out, time to get out. No, so that's a good sign that continuation can continue. Let's have a look at the ETH liquidations. And I like these maps because, unlike some other heat maps that you might see and are commonly used by analysts, those heat maps often just refer to Binance. Binance is not the main game, especially when it comes to perpetuals. You've got Binance, you've got Bybit, and you've got OKX as well. So really, you've got to take more than one exchange into account. And often when you look at them individually, the layout of the data is different, or the longs and shorts relative are different between the different exchanges. So you need this aggregate to get a really good idea of what the market is actually doing. As I said yesterday, there was a gap either side of the price action yesterday, and retail had not come in. Retail was sitting on their hands, had clearly not come in to the market to either long or short. But now let's see, look what's happened. It's been filled in. That gap's been filled in. So retail is starting to commit to a position, long or short. As you can see, there's been a lot of longs come in, and that's really on the back of BTC being so strong. So if I go to the 7-day and see what's going to happen there, is that, look at that. The longs have it. There is a lot of long positions. Now, you'll see there's some small gaps there. It's obviously relative to the 1-day position. If it were back to the 1-day, these spikes would be higher. But anyway, point is, retail is coming back in. It is not fully committed by the fact that you've got those gaps there. Okay, so I expect over the weekend, next 2 to 3 days, if there is no big squeeze to the downside, that this will continue to build here, because people are expecting continuation to happen to the upside. And that's where the data is showing at the moment. Concern for Ethereum is, look at that. Ethereum BTC chart. It's continuing to trend down. So that's against BTC, not USD. Now, as I said, a rising tide lifts all boats. And because Bitcoin is up 3.34% there on the day, that's pulling the entire market up. Even though compared to Bitcoin, Ethereum is down. Compared to USD, it's not. And because I'm trading the USD pair, that's not too much of a concern. If you're trading the BTC pair, I wouldn't be in this particular trade. I am. Anyway, so you can see here even more clearly, we've got continuation happening with Bitcoin and up 3.3%. So, and remember, your yearly high here is at 49,054. I wouldn't be worried about the magical target of 50,000. A market loves round numbers, and that's nice. 49,000 is also a round number. If you're trading BTC and you get to 49,000, I'd be closing my position, saying thanks very much, and then looking for another position, doing my research, doing my analysis accordingly. Anyway, that's BTC. So whilst BTC is in this uptrend, and it's even a better uptrend than the rest of the market, which is saying that alt season has not started yet. If you think you've missed it, you haven't missed it. ETH season hasn't started yet. It's had a little bit of a nibble, but that's about all at the moment. So you're way early, and you've got a lot of time to make serious coin in this market. So anyway, so that's where we're at the moment. So as I said, long position, high time frame, looking for this 27.20 to close it out. That's our main position. I always have a short hedge, absolutely, in this market, and that's the way I trade. But 27.20, look for that as your next position to close out your high time frame long. This is Older Bloke Crypto with 1 day left of the TradFi trading week. Let's see what happens when the US session opens in about 10 hours time. It's going to be very interesting. Stay safe with your trading, and I will talk to you on Monday next week when we get back into it. Have a great weekend. Thank you.